everyone, welcome back to Soul Food. I'm so happy you're here because today I am sharing with you a recipe that is luxurious, healthy, and easy. It is a salmon with a creamy coconut bell pepper sauce. Inspiration for this recipe comes from a dear friend of mine. She served it to me for dinner one night and I was like, I need to go home and figure out how to try and make this for myself. I did not come as close as hers, but I'm still so happy to share it with you. This recipe, like I said, it is so delicious and comes together so quickly. So without further ado, let's go ahead and make it. To make this recipe, start out with 1 red bell pepper that I am just going ahead here and taking out the seeds and the core. And this is my favorite way to do that without getting the seeds everywhere, because that's one of my pet peeves. If y'all want to see how I do this step by step, drop a comment down below and I'll be sure to make that. So I used a red bell pepper. Use whatever color you like, and I'm going to use half of it and I'm going to reserve the other half for something else. And you can use more if you like more peppers or less. You be the judge of that. So I used half of a yellow onion that I'm just going to thinly slice. And of course, the exact quantities for this recipe will be down in the description box below. So here are the spices and seasonings that I used. I went with a teaspoon of complete seasoning, a teaspoon of oregano, and I also used a teaspoon of cumin, but that's not in here. You'll see it later in the video and in the description box below. So here in another saucer, I added 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, and I just put in a splash of water, just enough to really make a slurry so that the cornstarch is completely dissolved and not clumpy. Here I have my 4 pieces of salmon fillets that have been cleaned and dried, and I went ahead and seasoned them with a gentle sprinkling of salt, not too much, because I used adobo, which also has salt in it. So I just used a small sprinkling of both of those. I went in with some black pepper. You can really use whatever spices you like. Add some garlic powder in there. I ran out, so that's why I didn't add that. So here in a large skillet, I brought it up to medium-high heat and I added some olive oil. And I have rather thin fillets, so once the pan was up to heat, I put them in there and I let them go for about 4 minutes on one side, flipped it and did another 3 to 4 minutes on the other side until it was opaque all the way through, but not overcooked. So I put that salmon to the side once it was done, and then I added some more olive oil back to the pan, put in those peppers, and really all that's left to do is bring this sauce together, and you are going to be shocked how quickly it goes. So you're going to just start by sauteing these peppers and onions for just a couple minutes until they begin to soften and caramelize. And here we are after a couple minutes, what that looks like. The next step will be to add the spices to the pan. There goes that cumin that I mentioned, oregano, and complete seasoning. Just gonna add that into the pan. And then you will also see the coconut milk that I use. You're gonna wanna use 1 can of full fat coconut milk straight into that skillet. And all that's left to do is to let this coconut milk come up to a gentle simmer. And once that happens, you'll be all set to go ahead and add in that cornstarch slurry that we had made earlier. There it is. You're just going to add that in and let that simmer for another few minutes, and you will see it pretty quickly start to thicken. Now, this is the best time to go ahead and taste for your seasonings before you add the salmon back in. So taste for salt, maybe add a little bit more adobo, a little bit more black pepper, garlic powder, whatever you believe. And then you're just gonna let it go for another few minutes. And here we are with a thick, luscious sauce. And I'm just gonna add that salmon back in. And that was it. This recipe came together in under 30 minutes, and it is healthy, delicious, luxurious, and just so amazing. I cannot wait for y'all to try this. So I just garnished with some chopped coriander and enjoyed this with some mashed potatoes and some broccoli, some roasted broccoli. I really hope you enjoy this recipe, and thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.